Back now at 8:10 with today's professionals, where our team of power players take on the hottest issues of the day. Star Jones, Donnie Deutsch, and Dr. Nancy, who need no introduction. Good morning to all.
Good morning, Savannah.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Okay, we have shopping on Thanksgiving Day now. We've got Black Friday. There are so many instances of people, you know, creating mobs outside the stores. I think we had one where a guy left a kid in the car while he shopped all night. We asked the question, as Charlie Brown did so long ago, isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is really all about? Is this just gone crazy?
Well, the fact that you just said Christmas, I think, is the hot button item, because people say happy holidays.
Oh, that's a whole other story.
Say. So, look, I didn't like the fact that stores were open on Thanksgiving, which I think is one of those great American holidays where there are no presents, there is no religion, and you really get to give thanks. That's when I think we jumped the shark.
You know, I was one of those that actually shopped online. I did all of the Black Friday shopping. I bought myself a TV online for $280. It was a good deal. I'm telling you the truth. But I also did Small Business Saturday. And so that was my feel-good time of the Thanksgiving
holiday. The larger question is, have we made the holidays too much about consumerism, recognizing that this is also very important for our economy?
It's not what we make it. You know, it's very interesting. Advertising and marketers and brands get blamed for over-commercializing everything. We're only filling demand. And it's very, very interesting. We are not, it's like we don't create people who want to use deodorant. They want to use it. And obviously people have the need and want to shop and want those deals. And I think also parents have the ability at home to distinguish between teach their children what Christmas and Hanukkah is versus great shopping and great wonderfulness. You know, I mean, like it's reality, guys. Everything is commercialized in our world.
But you know, it's interesting. Steve Jobs always said, why would I wait for a focus group to tell me what people want? They don't even know what they want until I give it to them. And I think that's what's happening.
No, but by the way, if people didn't want to shop at 5 a.m. on Thanksgiving, they wouldn't be there.
But it got created, and then the frenzy started.
I want to get to our next topic, medical marijuana and kids. In Oregon, there's a 7-year-old who's being treated for a particularly aggressive form of leukemia with chemotherapy. She has been given by her doctor a prescription for medical marijuana. She takes it in pill form apparently every single day. I guess this one first goes to our doctor, whether you think it's advisable for kids to be taking marijuana for medical purposes.
I have no problem with a child who's dying of a cancer getting some relief from nausea, vomiting, or an appetite stimulant.
This child has like a 75% chance of surviving. I mean,
and therein lies the rub. One of the parents said that she credited the marijuana with saving her daughter's life and being part of the cure. There is no evidence for that. So I think, you know, the sort of the blank statement is it okay for 7-year-olds? You have to break this down case by case by case.
And aren't there other medications that can be used to alleviate the nausea?
Yes, but interestingly, nothing works as well.
By the way, Oregon's law, which was approved by voters 14 years ago, requires no monitoring of a child's medical marijuana use by a pediatrician. Is that a problem?
Dumb. Yeah, that's dumb.
God forbid a million times, any of my children were sick, and there could be anything that could alleviate their pain or discomfort, I would do it. It wouldn't even be a blink of the eye.
And then you also have this problem that these parents are divorced, and if one parent in that parental family, if you will, decides that they don't want their child to take certain medication, then that brings in another legal rub, which is what you have in this particular situation.
And the daddy in this case said, look, I'm worried about what it's going to do to my child's brain, and that's a very responsible...
The father was upset. He said when he saw his little girl, he said she was stoned.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and she may well have been.
When you're on morphine, you're stoned. I mean, this is what drugs do. By the way, we probably are not competent to talk. Neither one of the three of us have never tried pot, so we're probably
I'm not even touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
I definitely can. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Next topic: denied boarding. A death of a woman from the Bronx who was visiting overseas in Hungary. She tried to get back on 3 different flights. This is a woman who was 425 pounds. She was obese. She had one leg that was amputated, so she needed a wheelchair. Apparently, 3 different airlines on 3 different occasions were not able to board her. It's not that they denied her; they were not able to get her on the plane, according to the airlines. She died. She apparently did not want to seek treatment in Europe. and she died of whatever was ailing her. I guess the question is, what is the airline's obligation in a situation like this?
At some point, we have to determine whether or not obesity is now considered a disability. I know that the EEOC...
It is covered.
It's covered. The EEOC has been pushing for full coverage. However, you know, in preparation for this topic, I went online to a pilots forum to read what pilots were saying.
Boy, you really studied for this stuff.
You know what? That's how I was taught. But what was interesting was the discussion about what happens in a safety situation for everybody else on the plane. If the woman could not board the plane safely, then that means she couldn't get off in an emergency safely. And that's one issue that we're going to have to determine when it comes to air transportation. It's not an air ambulance.
I don't understand how she got there,
I was about to say
because she went there for vacation. So she went over, conceivably, on an airline.
Yes.
Did she get fatter? Did she get sicker? I mean, they made it sound like between Delta and KLM, they couldn't even get her in the wheelchair. So something happened.
Each airline has absolutely different equipment, and they have different rules. Some airlines say that you have to be able to fit comfortably in one seat. Some make
and
you
at the end of the day, the pilot does have the legal right to say, this is my ship.
All right, last topic, all casual, all the time. Did you see the pictures of Justin Bieber, who we adore around here, wearing his overalls to meet the Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, of Canada? He was receiving an award. It was quite a prestigious award. You know, he's not only wearing his overalls, one was down, and he had his hat behind him. Now, Justin has said in his defense, this was behind the scenes at a show when he was about to go on stage.
Well,
what say we, people?
Well, I think if
defense.
that's the case, no. If literally the guy showed up and he's on stage, and look, I think, if he was my kid, obviously he'd be dressed differently because I'm so serious. But I think we have to, as us elders, have to start to understand.
Oh my God!
Listen
I
to
can't
me.
believe you're gonna say
no,
this.
listen to me. It's the same thing with Zuckerberg. It's a different world now, guys.
It's not. This is a head of state.
He was performing. What is the head of state doing there? The kid was performing.
Are you crazy?
I'm not crazy at all.
He's supposed to be going on stage.
Yes, he was
following.
This is a nice kid.
This isn't, by the way,
what he's supposed to be
it's
wearing.
apparently the Canadian equivalent of a Kennedy Center honor.
It's that
He was going on stage.
Not in 5 minutes. He had plenty of time to put on appropriate attire, meet a head of state.
My family has Bieber fever, and I don't want to
You guys, I'm going to dial an expert. She's done the weather, and now she's going to be a part of the profession. Scarlett Johansson, the Oracle, what say you?
That look is rad.
You like that?
Such a good look. See, the 90s are back, and you know, he's rocking it in the right
Scarlett,
way.
run! Donnie George is coming over. Run!
Matt Lauer has laryngitis, and I'm going to be conducting the interview, all right? Scarlett, how are you?
Coming up next, the sizzling Scarlett Johansson on her movie Hitchcock.
Donnie is such a slut. Right after.
Yes. 4 letter words on the show.